everyone, and welcome to the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show, an amazing video podcast with sports stars, entertainment celebrities, and other great guests, combining one host who has no legs, one host who lives in Duluth, Minnesota, and another host who seems to never be on the show. But now, on to the show with Troy, Dave, and maybe even Will.
Hi again, everybody. Dave Stevens here, and welcome to a special edition of the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show. I'm outside of Fenway Park where the weather is miserable. There's no baseball here today, but I'm excited because the Minnesota Twins have their home opener today. Let's toss it out to a much better location for weather. Troy Geary is at the Minnesota Twins game today, the home opener. Troy, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Dave. Troy Geary here from the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show, back for another season of Twins baseball here in downtown Minneapolis at Target Field. Looks like he had some great stuff out in Arizona, some great interviews, and that was a real treat to watch. Today, the Twins battle the Cleveland Guardians for the second of three games. The first game, they dropped 4-2. And before the game, Dick Bremer, longtime broadcaster for the Twins for 40 years, was honored, and they dedicated the TV booth to him. And here are some video I took of that from earlier.
Go ahead, Justin. You can unveil it. To commemorate Dick's nearly 5,000 games as the television voice of the Twins. In addition to this, we're going to make a charitable contribution to Dumont Baseball, Dick's hometown. Hannah Bremer was nice enough to help us coordinate that, Dick, in her role in our community engagement department. And then lastly, and maybe most importantly, from this day going forward, the home television booth here at Target Field will be the Dick Bremer television booth. So Dick, congratulations on behalf of the Minnesota Twins.
Thank you, Dave.
Well done.
This is heavy, and by noon tomorrow it'll be on the hood of my truck as a photo.
Thanks, Dave. That was great stuff. Dick Bremer was a longtime announcer. Everybody loved him. It was fun listening to him and Bert and circling people and all that fun stuff. But back today, the Twins look to get back in the win column after losing their opening game to Cleveland. Today, Joe Ryan battles Carlos Carrasco, so it should be a pretty good matchup of pitching. Twins offense has not really gotten the hot start like they did last year, so hopefully the bats kind of heat up as the weather does. Today's going to be a great day.
Yeah, Troy, lots of excitement in the air early in the season because everybody's in contention, and it is a wild weekend. You've got the Twins home opener this weekend. You got the women's Final Four in Cleveland. You got the men's Final Four in Phoenix, where I was just at. Much better weather, but we'll talk a little more Twins baseball after we pay some bills. You're watching the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show. All right, here we are at this amazing Ditka and Jaws Cigars with the stars and our friends at La Fratellanza. Have given us these amazing cigars. We had a box and they're gone. Everybody here has been coming up and they say this is one of the best cigars. It's not even supposed to be here, and now they're going crazy.
Rod Jaworski, Brian Urlacher, Warren Sapp. Everybody loves these cigars. So if you go to LaFratellanzaCigars.com, use the code GS20, you get 20% off of one of their boxes. I mean, these things, like I said, we put them down and they were gone in seconds. Everybody loves them. I mean, this is a great event, too.
I know, but holy cow, and I haven't smoked one yet. I haven't even gotten to taste it. They're just out of the Dominican Republic. They've just released them, and again, it's a labor of love for these guys that put this together. So I'm excited to have them be a part of the Super Bowl, and in fact, they were the biggest hit here, and I wish we had more boxes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, they just started producing these things, and they cannot keep them produced fast enough around the shelf. They're just keep going out. But they're ramping up production, so they're going to be everywhere soon. So get yours today. Go to their website, LaFratellanzaCigars.com. Use the code GSS20 for 20% off a great box of 10 cigars.
All right, let's go find Jaws and light this baby up.
I'm excited to light it.
Hi, everybody. Dave Stevens here for the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show from Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Rays. And you know what? Not everybody can be a Major League Baseball player, but you can look like $1 million. What's the best way to do that? Well, go to FreshCleanThreads.com. Don't believe me? That's right, you can look professional, feel good, and not spend a lot of money by wearing Fresh Clean Threads. They have amazing shirts. They've got Henleys and polos, long sleeves, and even bomber jackets. And if you like them, you can save some money by typing in the show code GSS Show from the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show to save 20% off. So if you can't be a major leaguer and you want to dress like one, well, go to freshcleanthreads.com. That's freshcleanthreads.com. Tell them Dave sent you. Use that code GSS Show.
Hi, everybody. Dave Stevens from the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show. And you know, Troy and I are on the road all the time covering games, doing things, my motivational speaking. But I have connected with LifeWave, which has really changed my life. And it's an amazing patch that not only helps me to live my life, it keeps me very active. Tammy Wellman is joining me. And now, Tammy, you put these patches on me. It is a stem cell regeneration plan. But tell us a little bit more how it works.
Yeah, so these patches are amazing. They're wearable wellness. They're non-transdermal patches. Nothing goes in your body. Your body gives off light. They capture it and they activate your body's own repair system. Your body goes to work to heal things that are in need of healing. Pain reduction, things like that.
It gave me an opportunity to play in the Celebrity Softball Classic. This video of my base hit, I wouldn't have done it without these patches. So please, if you want to know more about this product, go to patchit.life. LifeWave, it's changing my life.
Thanks, Dave. Back at Target Field here. The game's going to get underway as batting practice happens behind me. But the next series is one I'm really looking forward to. The Los Angeles Dodgers come to town. And just like you said, Dave, the Yankees and the Diamondbacks, the Yankees don't really come to Arizona very much. And same thing here with the Dodgers and the Twins. So I'm going to have some great on-the-field, hopefully, interviews with, let's say, the likes of Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. You know, I mean, that lineup and that team is not only really pretty rich, but they're a good team. So it's going to be a great series to cover, and we'll have some more from there. But, Dave, let's kick it over to you. You had a chance to sit down to talk to new Hartford Yard Goats manager and former Yankee Bobby Meacham.
Yeah, Troy, good stuff, man, and keep up the good work. You know, I had the opportunity yesterday to catch up with our newest manager, the Hartford Yard Goats, which is the AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. Bobby Meacham, former New York Yankee, been in baseball a long time. He sat down with me to talk about the upcoming season.
Well, I don't usually get excited about the managers that come to town, but when you've got a former big leaguer like Bobby Meacham joining us to teach baseball in Hartford, they're going to get something out of you here.
Well, I hope so. I mean, my job is to get these guys out there and learn something new, maybe that they've never heard before, to put them over the edge, maybe get them closer to where they want to be, and that's the big leagues.
How much of this is about teaching and getting them out of bad habits so they can get those major league habits and the intangibles that are going to help them get to that next level?
You're speaking my language, Dave. It's like, yeah, I tell them all the time, everything we do is a habit, right? So once we get good habits rolling day after day, we can build on something. But once we go to a bad habit, we take a step back. So I'm hoping I told them, use every minute you have on that field to get better at what you do, so that it takes less time to get rid of all those bad habits, and we can just keep rolling towards the good things.
I know you've coached at every level and in the major leagues and everything, but at this level, is it going to be tough because you do want to win, but you don't control the roster when people go up and down and you lose people to AAA in the big league? So how much does that a factor when you're trying to plan a team that you don't know in 2 months if it's the same team?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. It really isn't. I think whoever they put before me, I'm going to help them become the best they can be. And I think the way we do things, the way we will do things here is to get the most out of these guys. And I think the talent level is so close, right? I mean, the teams we're playing against, they're not going to be either more talented or less talented than us. So I think if we go out and play the game the right way, we'll be champions.
And, you've had such an illustrious career. You go back to the 80s with the Yankees. You were in that Bronx madness with Reggie and Winfield and all those guys. So tell me, what of that era did you take that you now teach these guys?
Well, the one thing I keep coming to notice in my life, I'm telling my son the same thing for years, is like I wasn't as good as I was supposed to be, and I really believe that if I was as good as I was supposed to be, we would have been, had a few more championships. So I think one thing I want to bring to these guys is don't settle for just being really good or being okay or being good in somebody else's eyes. Try to be as great as you can be so you can really reach as far as you're supposed to.
All right, let's flash back to those 80s and when you were playing with Billy, and I know there's a famous little-known story that you could even go see the birth of your own child from the owner and the manager. I mean, I can't imagine that in this day and age.
How do you remember that one, Dave? Yeah, that was a great story, right? It was one of those things where all of a sudden, I talked to Billy, and Billy goes, "Yeah, let me talk to George and see if you can go home." And then George got the phone, he gave me the phone, and George goes, "No, I can't go against what your manager wants. He wants you there for the game." So I was like, so that spread across the clubhouse pretty quick, and I think a few people in the media got a hold of that. So next thing you know, though, George came through. He came through with a private jet to get me home in time. So I almost didn't, but I made it just in time to see my daughter Brooke born.
39 years. How does time go by so fast?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I just came from her a couple months ago where she had her second baby, and I get to tell that story over and over again to her.
Of those players that you played with and against and all those, who are some of those iconic ones that you're just sitting around and go, I got to pinch myself because I played with so-and-so?
Well, the couple guys I played, most of them I played with, the Dave Winfield, he's almost like the Shohei Ohtani of that time, or the Darren Judge of that time, right?
He was drafted in 4 sports basketball. He could pitch at Minnesota. I mean, he was amazing.
He was, what a great player and a great person. And, play next to Willie Randolph was tremendous, just all the lessons he taught me. And then we still talking, he's still teaching me. So I love playing with guys like that and learning and hopefully passing some of this along to these players here.
I got to ask, because if you saw me playing, my number was always 44. I named my lizard after Reggie. What was it like to be around Reggie Jackson, both on the field and off the field? The charisma, the straw that stirs what was all of that like?
Well, the thing with Reggie, I was there after Reggie left, so I got to hang around when he'd come in our clubhouse after when he was with the Angels and hear some things from him. But when I went back in 2008 to coach there in New York, that's when I got to talk to Reggie the most. And he's brilliant, a brilliant man. I'm glad I get to sit beside him and really learn from him in that year. And also now he's in Houston, lives in Houston, out where I live. And I get to every once in a while shoot him a text, and we go back and forth, and I'm learning even more from him. Reggie's a great guy, and I'm glad I really got to see him and know him and learn from him.
Well, as you are now adapting to AA baseball, we've got balls that are being called as strikes by computers. I mean, there's been a lot of changes, some good, some speeding up. What are your thoughts about all this technology and analytics and everything taken away from the purity of the game?
Well, I'm just trying to keep up, Dave. It's one of those things where it really hasn't changed that much. They call a slider, a slur of a sweeper now. They're calling some balls that we used to call, hey, ball rises. They got all talk about spin rate. Well, we know what they're talking about. We just have to keep up with the lingo, so to speak, that language, so we know what it really means. And not only that, we have to simplify it. My job is to really take all that, simplify it for the players. It's okay for the analysts to know a little more about stuff, but sometimes that gets in the way of the players really focusing on the simple things of the game. So my job is to do that. I know what I need to do, so I'm going to get it done for these guys.
All right, excitement here as the Yard Goats have a new man in town, Bobby Meacham. Excited to see your baseball this year. Best of luck.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, Troy, that'll do it here from Fenway. I'm going to go try to get a little dry because it has been snowing. It's rainy. This is not baseball weather. Yeah, I'm going to go get dry. I don't know where Will is, but for Troy, myself, this is Dave Stevens. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms. That's the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show. You can find us on Roku at yourhometv.com and wherever you watch your podcasts. We'll see you later.
Thank you for tuning in to the Geary, Stein and Stevens Show. Follow us on social media, watch us on yourhometv.com, or now we're on Roku. Download it and watch us. And thanks for tuning in. Until next time, America.